All right, so it officially got announced today. Although we did know it was still coming, but it's nice to get some official confirmation from Henry Cavill himself that not only is he going to star and executive produce in this show, we're getting Warhammer 40k officially from Amazon. And I know a lot of people are excited. Some people are nervous. People are angry for some reason. I don't get that. I don't get the anger. That's the one that really confuses me. Is like, you're angry that we're getting a show that we've wanted for the longest time out of a universe that could spin off there's no limit to what shows you could do. Yeah. So yes, it's official. We're getting a Warhammer 40k TV series, and I could not be more excited. I am super stoked for this series. I look forward to it. I am just so excited. And Henry Cavill has said, the reason why I was kind of MIA and the whole thing was because I was working with other people who were also in depth and also Games Workshop to craft a perfect story. Now, the thing is, we don't know what that story is, and I'll talk about some theories I have as well as some shows I would like to see. But it makes sense that the dude was basically also pretty fucking busy. He was doing other movies. He was, working on this and trying to get Games Workshop and Amazon, I imagine, to play nice with each other. On top of that, he was preparing to be a father. So I give him, I'm going to cut it. Let's just say I cut him some slack for, being a little quiet on the whole situation. Anyway, so let's talk about I think this is a good move for Amazon, because I'm sure Amazon, that now that they have MGM, they probably want their own franchised universe. I mean, Disney has Marvel and Star Wars, Warner Brothers has DC, and now Dune. And on top of that, you have Universal Studios, who has Jurassic Park, they have the Universal Monsters, and they have Fast and Furious, which I know I'm not a big fan of, but I can't deny it makes money. Those movies make money. That franchise makes money. So every studio, to some extent, has their own franchise universe. So I'm sure Amazon looked at Warhammer and went, that if I could make dollar signs in my eyes, that's the thing I'm trying to convey. Anyway, so yeah, I'm sure they just took one look at that and went, money. So that's how I imagine it. Also, I'm sure Bezos probably, I don't know, fucking ate a baby or something to make out of joy for realizing how much money he was gonna make. Anyway, I don't fucking know. So we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about, what the show could be, and maybe I'll do a separate video talking about, what shows I would like to see. I know I did a video like that not too long ago, but I think I might do that as another video talking about, what Warhammer shows I would like to see. So let's talk about what I think this show might be. And it's funny because this isn't I don't think it's a Warhammer 40k show. I think it's a Warhammer 30k show. I think the show, and I could be totally wrong, and I accept that I could be wrong. I thoroughly believe the show we might be getting, is the Horus Heresy. It makes too much sense to do the Horus Heresy as your big show on a multitude of reasons. It's got drama. It's got Space Marine, load-blowing battles everywhere, Space Marine on Space Marine battles, and chaos. The few things that make Games Workshop just tug their nut on, the thought of doing more Space Marine stuff. And I know I've said some stuff on this channel a few times talking about, Space Marine fatigue and Space Marine overexposure. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Necron fan, but it does kind of divert from the other stuff. Hell, it diverts from the Astra Militarum on several occasions. So, but I understand Space Marines are the big driving force of Warhammer 40k. And again, if you want Space Marines, here you go, the Horus Heresy. We also don't, and also, again, I could be totally wrong, and Henry Cavill could be doing an original show. That's that's very possible, and I admit that I could be wrong. So I think that's the case. I think right now my mind is on Horus Heresy. Now, who could Cavill be playing if we're going with this hypothetical train of thought? I would say people are going to say God Emperor or Rabute Gilliman. Gilliman, I think, would be cool. I don't think Cavill would make himself the God Emperor. But I will say the role I think would be kind of cool to see him in is if we're going again with this hypothetical train of thought that it's the Horus Heresy. How about Horus? Yeah, I think Cavill. It would be kind of cool to see Cavill playing against his archetype hero role and play like a villain. Like, we got shades of darker acting from him in The Witcher, so it would be kind of cool to see. Like, I just kind of want to see him as like what he could be like as a villain, in a villain role. So yeah, how about we have him play what is essentially the main crux of the whole thing with Rabute Gilliman. Now, another thing that's interesting to note is that we don't know if it's going to be live action or not. That wasn't said in the post Cavill made that this show is going to be live action. I think it would be kind of cool for live I think live action is where they're gonna go, but it could also be that this could be all animated. Like, it could be that Cavill does the voice, and a part of me is like, maybe that's the smart idea to do, is have it be animated, because there's just things in Warhammer 40k that I'm afraid would look goofy in live action. Like, I don't know how well some things would look in live action. So I would say animation would be good, but again, Amazon has that Amazon money, so I can't really, say no to that. But yeah, I really do think that this series has got so much potential. And again, this franchise has so much potential to be a multitude of things. It has so much potential to be a multitude of shows. Like, I personally think one show I would love to see is Necromunda. I really do think a Necromunda TV series is just perfect. Necromunda, you don't have to do anything outside, like these big, expensive space battles. You don't have to do anything. It's concealed in one hive city, and you get everything. You get cyberpunk, you get dystopian shit, you get gang wars, rival houses, interpersonal relationships, and, you can have chaos and gene stealers in the background as bigger threats coming at you, coming in later seasons. So Necromunda's kind of like, I wouldn't say Necromunda's the show I absolutely want, but it's a show I would love to see, like as like a spin-off show. So Necromunda would be actually a pretty solid series, at least for my account. But getting back on track, I think like having the Horus Heresy makes too much sense not to be a show. Like, I really do think that having the Horus Heresy be being a franchise as your franchise anchor, if you're going to make this a whole franchise, is a smart idea. Because yeah, it's set in 30k and the effects are felt all the way 10,000 years later. And also, again, the book series, like almost 60 books long. Come on, guys. You've got so much lore and codexes and shit to really like comb over and do like a whole thing. It's not like, you want to do a remake of a TV series but can't because the author is too lazy to finish the book. I don't think I need to say anything further, do I, on what I'm referring to. I hope I'm not being too subtle. Anyway, I really do think that this is going to be great. I'm already hyped, and I know, and it's weird too because I keep seeing people with like already unpacking the torches and pitchforks, and I get it. That's the internet. I fully understand. That's how the internet works. But like, guys, come on. Henry Cavill clearly has a story to tell, and would you prefer not having anything? I don't understand. And again, some people have justified reasons for not being excited. Like, I have my reservations because I just know it's going to be more Space Marine overexposure. But at the same time, I'm like, it's probably going to be pretty fucking awesome. And I know some people are also like, oh, it's going to be like Halo, or it's going to be like the Halo TV show. You don't know that. None of us know that. It could easily, like, we don't know the showrunner. Cavill said he's not the showrunner. He's just starring and executive producing. I think someone said he's also, like, one of the articles I read said he's probably going to write a few episodes, which I'm curious to see how his writing skills are, if that's true. But I do think that the series is, I think the show, like, until we get an official showrunner, I don't know. I think it would be kind of cool to get Stephen S. DeKnight, showrunner for, he was the DeKnight would be kind of cool. He was the showrunner for Daredevil, but he did direct, I have seen other stuff he's directed, and it does make me a little worried, so now that I think about it, I'm like, maybe not. Like, maybe not him. Like, maybe not. Like, how about maybe look for someone else. Not the guys behind Game of Thrones. Yeah, not them. Like, you know the two I'm talking about. Maybe the people behind House of the Dragon? Be cool. Yeah. There's so much we don't know right now. And I'm sure, like, as next year progresses, we'll probably get more information. We don't even have an air date for the show. We don't even know what the show is about. All that we know is Cavill and Amazon are working together to make a Warhammer 40k show. We don't know if it's animated. We don't know if it's live action. We don't know if it's the Horse Heresy. We don't know if it's the original story. None of us know. None of us fucking know right now, other than it's officially happening, and I could not be more excited. So, yeah. You guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of this Warhammer 40k announcement? Are you excited that it's finally, that you can breathe a sigh of relief and know that this show is finally happening? Or are you worried, and what are your reservations? And what kind of shows do you want? Because we're going to get multiple. I already got a feeling that they're going to have multiple. And really the only franchises, now that I remember it, I know someone in the comments has already typed this by now. I'm sure someone said, what about The Boys? They have a franchise. Yeah, and I'm sure they want more franchises. But yeah, what kind of shows would you want to see out of this franchise? Just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope y'all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.